What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am because I started my vacation this week. So I've got this whole week off. I'm going to get a lot of things done around the house. At least that's what I told my fiance. And I'm going to try to record a lot of videos. I'm going to try to do some live streams. I'm going to try to interact with you guys as much as possible because my schedule changes next week and I won't be able to post during the day quite as much unless I pre-record at night. So everything's going to switch up for me a little bit. My work is switching up. I wish I could do this full time, but this is just my part-time gig. You can help me get one step closer to doing this as a full-time job if you do me the favor and like the video. And then if you enjoy the content or you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. YouTube will let you know every time I post. All you have to do is turn on notifications. Let's get into the video. So a lot of people have asked me, do I think Bryan Kohberger wanted to get caught? That's a good question. I wonder about that sometimes because it really is hard to comprehend how somebody who has a degree in psychology, they have a degree in forensics, they have a master's in criminal justice, and they're working on their PhD in criminology. They're applying for positions with the sheriff's department to help with forensic data. How does that person leave so much evidence behind, including a knife sheath with his own DNA on it? How does that make sense in the grand scheme of things for what that person hoped to accomplish? You have to kind of hesitate and say, did he want to get caught? If he did want to get caught, why? Well, that's where my mind goes in all kinds of different directions, and this all becomes speculation, right? Let's assume that Kohberger did want to be caught. Why might he want to be caught? Well, he could want the evidence to all point to him so he gets fame and notoriety from this, but thinks that he can beat the case. He might think that they don't have enough evidence directly tying him to the case, so he might get off. He might beat the case. Now, I can't imagine where he would benefit from that, aside from maybe writing a book or something. But you would think with all his education, he would want to work with police, not against police, right? Apparently not. Hey, sorry, we'll get right back to the video. I just wanted to jump in real quick and let you all know that I finally did a hoodie. There's a Southern Logic hoodie over on Teesprings. I'll drop the link down in the description. I've also got some stickers there for anybody who wants to put a sticker on their computer or a sticker on their hard hat. Always remember, Southern Logic. Be kind, be courteous, be respectful, but don't be a fool. Let's get back to the video. I also believe that this could have been a crime of passion, that he's in love with one of the roommates, that if he can't have her, nobody can, and that he went in and did that. And then when he lost the knife sheath, I can't make that make sense. The only thing that makes that seem logical at all is that he got caught up, his adrenaline was pumping, he did what he did, he runs downstairs, his adrenaline's pumping, he does it again to those two, and then when he's running out of the house, tunnel vision toward the door, trying to get back to his safe space, he sees somebody out of the corner of his eye, realizes somebody else is up in the house and awake and has been the whole time and might have already called the cops. So he didn't want to turn around and run back and get that sheath. That's what makes sense to me, right? So then he drives away. He goes and he gets rid of the weapon. He gets rid of whatever evidence he had. He comes back to his home. He cleans up. Then he leaves home and drives back over to the scene of the crime. And he's trying to get an understanding for, did somebody see me? Have the cops already been called? Did they find the knife sheath? Nobody's there. Nothing's going on. He didn't know what to think about that, so he left and he went back home. We don't believe that the roommates knew him so much as he knew who they were. We have him in that area 12 times before the murders and none after the murders. We have him leaving his house that morning, on the way to that house, and then the phone turns off. Then the murders happen. Then the phone turns back on later on, and he's on the other side of town. That's circumstantial evidence. He doesn't have to prove what he was doing there in that time his phone was turned off. We have to prove what he was doing during that time the phone was turned off. That could be something that he plans to expose, right? I think that he believes he can game this system. Regardless of whether that was his intention in the beginning, I believe that's what he believes now. I believe he thinks that his defense is going to be strong enough. And by defense, I don't mean his attorney. I mean the story that Bryan is going to tell us. I believe he's going to tell us a story that accounts for every little thing that the police accused of. In that case, he can issue some reasonable doubt to whether he committed these murders, and then he can't be found guilty. Maybe that's his plan. Maybe he didn't know that that DNA was on that sheath. That might have him. If the police don't find anything in Kohberger's car, if none of the stuff they got at his apartment comes back to be connected to any of the victims, what does that mean? Are we going to say that he cleaned every little thing except for that one little bit of touch DNA? Would a reasonable person be okay to understand this could be a mistake? He could not have committed the crimes. The only thing we have putting him where these crimes took place is a tiny bit of touch DNA on a piece of a knife sheath. Do you think that they're going to be able to convict him with only the DNA that we know about so far? Then we have Dylan's story. And we know Dylan's story is very questionable. What happened? What all did she hear that we don't know that she heard yet? What all did she see that we don't know she saw yet? And who else did she tell? What else went on in between the times that the murders happened and the police were called to the scene? That's some questions that we will get answers to in court. You can bet your ass that Kohberger's defense are going to try to bring up everything they can to discredit the witness, to make the witness not credible, to provide doubt. See where I'm going with this? That could be Bryan's plan all along, to beat the system and be known as the killer who beat the system, kind of like O.J. Simpson. I don't see where it benefits him, but that's what people seem to believe that he is trying to do. Now, obviously, for these scenarios, we're assuming that Bryan is guilty. But we all know that he is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So I'm not trying to assert that Bryan is guilty here. I'm just saying, if we're going to go along the lines that he did it and he left this sheath on purpose or he wanted to be caught, we have to assume that he did the crime in the first place, right? Right? Kinda. We have to assume that he's involved or he knows about the crime or that he planned the crime. He might have had somebody else to carry the crime out. He might have had somebody else in the car with him. He could have only been the driver. I know that's a theory too that goes around. There's so many theories going around. But I just can't make it make sense that somebody with his knowledge wanting to do the job that he wants to do with all the months of meticulous planning, and all of a sudden everything goes out the window. He breaks all the rules, does all the things that's going to get him caught, but only to a sense that he's going to get arrested or he's going to be a suspect, not necessarily to prove that he did the crime. Coincidence? I don't know. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel to see more, hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.